In this video, I'm going to be talking about a playable postcard. Yes, these are playable postcards. They're called Flexi postcards, Flexi disc. So we'll get into the special topic on what these are in just a few minutes. I have a lot of postcards sold. Yesterday was Wednesday, and I sold 32 postcards during the middle of the week. Usually during the middle of the week, it's a little slower. It's usually Saturdays that I sell, the weekends and stuff that I sell more cards. But yesterday they were just coming in like crazy. Had 29 cards sold on eBay for over $150 worth. 2 items sold on Etsy worth about $13, and 1 card on HIP, $5. So a total about $170 in postcard sales. So you're going to see a real good variety of all different types of cards and what they sold for today throughout this video. And I'll sprinkle them in between the special topic, the polls, and the viewer comments. But the poll today I got, and it was kind of a loaded question. There's so many variables, and I'll get into that, is how many postcards can you list in 1 hour? There are just so many dependencies and on that. When I put that question out there, I was questioning myself and the blowback, but I didn't get too much on it. But I got a lot of responses. And then viewer comments. I got 3 viewer comments to talk about. One of them is, do you read what's on the back of postcards? We'll discuss that. But let me go ahead and get started on these what solds. And it's going to take a little longer today, but you're just going to see so many different cards that I sold. And I was surprised on some of them. But let me do the Etsy one first. The 2 that sold on Etsy. The first thing that sold on Etsy, and this is kind of hysterical. This is that magazine ads that I sell. I cut them out of Life magazines and different things. This is actually swimsuits on there. And they're called Jansen Latex Wisp White swimsuits. Pure wool and latex yarn. So back in the day, I think this is about 1940s, 1950s, they had wool and latex swimming suits, and this guy's got white swimsuit on and it's wool. I don't think white is a good color to wear when it gets wet. I think it turns a little transparent. But this was sold on Etsy for $7.95 plus shipping. And how I ship those is I ship them in a heavier envelope. It's a stay flat, the same as I use for postcards, but it's a bigger one. And I put a piece of cardboard inside to make sure, because these are the things that they would like, the mail people would like to fold up and stick to a mail slot. So you want to make sure it's heavy enough where they just can't do it. But it'll go just like that, and it'll go first class shipping on there. The next one that sold on Etsy was just a normal card. It's a linen card of the Cannon Ball House, Winchester, Virginia. So it's just a linen card. And I'm not for sure what this is. Some Civil War house or something like that. But it had a flea market thing on the back here of $1. And this sold for $4.55, free shipping with on Etsy. Now on Etsy, they don't have eBay standard envelope. So I have to use a stamp and a label, and it's my risk. So if they don't receive it and they say anything, I don't have any recourse. But I don't get many of those on Etsy at all, refunds. If I do, it's here and there. So now with the HIP one, I only sold 1 card on HIP. HIP has been kind of slow lately. It goes up and down. It's whatever comes in. But this is one of the prints. This is the scene at the U.S. Naval Station, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. So I was able to list this one, even though it says Cuba, probably because it's Guantanamo Bay. But it's just a print card. It's got a little bit of curving from where it's stored. But I have about 40 of these that the club printed off. And this one sold for $4.55 plus free shipping on HIP. And I do the same thing on HIP. They don't have eBay standard envelope. So that on HIP, they go with a stamp and a label. Unless it's a bigger order, then I'll put them in a first class package. But if it's just single 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, they'll go into an envelope with a stamp and a label on there. But let me knock out some of these eBay ones. I had a lot of multiple orders with eBay. First one was Margaret, Michigan. This was a Main Street, Washington Street in Marquette, Michigan. Just a chrome card. It's posted, sold for $4.55. eBay standard envelope. Next one is Headquarters of the 2nd Army, Fort George, Meade, Maryland. Just a chrome card. Posted 1962 from Maryland. $4 to $5. Here's another one of those Navy prints. This is a printable photo, Motorboat Albatross, which was USS Albatross, 1917 and 1919. So these are about continental size, and this will go for 1 ounce eBay standard envelope. Sold for $4 to $5 eBay standard envelope. Chrome card of a church, vertical card, just a chrome card of a inside of a church. And this church is Sanctuary, Pulaski Heights Methodist Church, Woodlawn and Monroe Streets, Little Rock, Arkansas. I love Midwest postcards because that's one of the categories I don't have a lot of, is Midwest. But that's just a chrome card, $4 to $5, eBay standard envelope. Now the next one is actually from the album. I have a series of videos I'm doing, putting one a week out as I get them listed, of the 8 albums I bought from a private collection. And this is one of them I sold for $8.55. This is the view from the Catskill Mountain House, Catskill Mountains. A white border card, sold for $8.55, free shipping, eBay standard envelope. And this was posted in 1927, it looks like. But so that's one of the cards on there. And those albums are doing a lot better than I thought. I kind of took a blind buy on that, kind of, because I didn't touch them. Had about a 15-minute conversation with the gentleman, some pictures, and I didn't know a lot about Catskill Mountains, New York. And if you watch the series of videos, you'll see how I'm doing with that, and I'll basically make my money back, hopefully, by the time I list all 8 albums. But it's getting there. The next one, this person ordered 3 cards. This is the famous stairway at Chapel Laredo, Santa Fe, New Mexico. We actually went there. We spent a week in New Mexico, Albuquerque. We got to see the Breaking Bad house and went up to the Andres Mountains, and we actually went and saw the staircase right here. There's a big story about that, who built that. Some gentleman showed up at the mission or whatever and did that for him. But that's sold between $4 and $5. Next one is Cactus. Cactus always sell. You don't get a lot of money, top dollar for them, but they're just normal chrome cards, and make sure you get cactuses. Desert flowers, they do well. This is a variety of cacti. I guess that's plural for cactus. And that's $4 to $5. And this is Little Field Memorial Fountain and University of Texas, Austin, Texas. And this is a linen card. I can't really feel the texture, but you can see the blue and kind of tell it's a linen from way back here. But this was the University of Texas Tower, so make sure universities and stuff like that. And those 3 cards sold for about $12. Let me get through some more of these since I got a lot of them. The next one is just a linen card of a road, the road through the Aspens. So just some trees and a road, $4 to $5, eBay standard envelope. Next one is Greetings from Petrified Forest in Painted Desert, Arizona. I've never seen this card. I don't remember this. I've sold the Petrified Forest, but not this card here. Just a chrome card, touristy card, $4 to $5. A lot of people would put that in the quarter box. Next one is another print, the Tillamook, ATA 192. I think I got about 12 or 15 of these left. And these were printed off from those negatives. The club did those, and I just put them up as one listing and put a quantity of 12, and as they sell, they go down. And that's sold between $4 and $5. Next one is the USS Auburn, AGC 10. Another print. These are on lighter stock too. And I made sure I put that in the description. I have some people, they love them or they hate them. A lot of people say, well, that's just a print. Yeah, that's what it is. And I put it in the description. I updated that description about a month or so ago, and that seemed to calm some of them down. But a lot of people still like them. And I put in there, it is on lighter cardstock, and I don't know why they did that back then. But this one here is another one I just listed from one of the albums from that private collection. I could not find this card, so I priced this up, and I sold it for $7.55. It's the Newport Creamery Incorporated. Just a vertical card, Creamery. I didn't find anything on that, and it was from Newport, Rhode Island. So $7.55 for a linen card of the Creamery. So if you see that card, make sure you price it up. $7.55. And let me do this last batch here, and then we'll get into music cards, or Flexi postcards. This was 2 cards, sold for $9, around there. This is a Chrome card, North Street, Litchfield, Connecticut, and what probably sold it is that car right there. It helped sell that, is the older car. It's just a Chrome card on there, and they sold, both of these cards sold to one gentleman on here. This is the Coble Court, Litchfield, Connecticut. So multiple, when people buy multiple cards, that's why you keep the cost down a little bit and have the volume discounts. They will buy multiple cards, and that's where you can make a little bit more money when they buy multiples. Let me finish up this one last one here. This is nothing in sight for days, but 16 ships in the horizon. This is the Great White Fleet, they call it. Just another one of those prints. This is a color type one that they printed off, and that sold between $4 and $5. So I spent a little bit of time on what solds here, but that way it gets me caught up as I go through the video, because I had 32 cards. But as you see, there's a variety of Chrome cards, Navy ship cards. I think there's been 7 ships I sold today of the Navy cards. But some of the Chrome cards, people say, oh, I can't believe they'll sell for $4. I see them for $1. I do it all day long. The people, you never know what they're going to buy unless you put it up. So, but let's get into Flexi postcards. You're saying, what are you talking about? I don't know a lot about these. I don't have any of these for sale in my store, but I saw them and I've seen them before, and I said, you know, I need to do some research and share what I learned with the viewers. So let's go through this together, and we're going to learn a little bit about Flexi postcards. I'm going to put the definition right down here. Flexi postcards, a playable postcard consisting of printed cardstock and coated with a dispersion varnish and printed with grooves. Now what those grooves are for is to play on a record player with a needle. These are based on the same principle as a vinyl record. The quality of sound from them is lower than a standard vinyl record. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Mainly good for a handful of plays until sound gets really distorted. So the varnish they use on there will wear out. I've seen different things researching it. They say 12 to 15 plays, 8 to 12 plays and still, but it's just not the best quality. I remember the days, cereal boxes, I think is what I remember, or something, that had a record and you cut it out and put it on a player and you could play and you could hardly even hear it. But that's what these basically are. They still make them today. You can still buy the Flexi disc. Sometimes they're called phono sheets, sono sheets, and sound sheets. I've seen those 3 terms. So phono sheet, sono sheet, and sound sheet. I saw those 3 terms, but in the postcard world, I've seen the most of was called a Flexi postcard. They're also called Flexi discs. Was used to add sound to printed material and used in promotions. And I got some examples here I'm going to show you, but it was a real easy, cheap way before social media and all that stuff to put some audio on a piece of paper and send it to someone. And you're going to see a political one I have here on how they did it. And it's a real cheap way to varnish and cardboard. It didn't cost much to do. So they were able to get their word out in the promotions and the political stuff real easy back then. Polish postcard postcards, Flexi disc, were used in the early 1980s to sneak Western music into communist-ruled Poland. So the picture on the postcard normally had nothing to do with the music. So they would have a postcard, a Flexi postcard, with the varnish and the record on it with a hole in the middle of a flower, a cat, a cow, but the music might have been something Western, from the Western music, you know, from us over here in the States, and that was not allowed in the communist-ruled Poland, so they would sneak those in that way, and people got to listen to Michael Jackson or whoever it was on there that wasn't allowed. Most of these cards I found played at the 33 RPM speed, and they really sounded bad. A lot of people said that the quality was just bad, but if you didn't have if you get even a chance in those countries to listen to something like that and they really liked it, I'd take the chance on there. And like I said, I remember cereal boxes and stuff like that. I've seen these before on there, but I've never picked one up in a while. I don't see too many of them, and that's why I wanted to talk about them. Now the examples I got here, I got four examples. 3 of them are Flexi discs, and then since we're on the music, talking about music and sound, I have another example of a musical postcard. So the first one is an actual piece of plastic almost. It's plastic, but you can see the record on there in the light on there, and there's a hole right in the middle where you put it on there. And this is a heavier one, and this is a Polish. I can't read what it says, but you can kind of see it on the top there, but it's in Polish, and this is probably a better quality one than the ones you're going to see here in a second. But that's on there. And then on the back, you got a stamp box right up here, and you got a place for the address. I'm trying to get it to focus in the light on there. But there's a stamp box up here, and then where you put a label and a message over here. So this is like a postcard, but it's really dark on there. But that's a Polish one. The next one is the political one I was talking about. So Richard Nixon was the president in there, and this is from August 8, 1968, and this is one of the speeches that he gave or announcement. But that's him in the middle. There's a hole right there where you put it on the record player, and you can play him talking to you on there. This was never played. This is from a new old stock. I actually purchased this one for this video because I wanted to show what they look like with the pictures on there. But it does have writing on the back on there. It has a stamp box, place to mail it, and then you would get it, you put it on your record player. Now they also said that sometimes these aren't heavy enough, and the needle would stop it from turning. So they would tape a penny or something heavy to the middle, and sometimes they have a space, they said, to put that penny on there to catch it. But they said and the best way to play these, if your turntable is not level, I read, is you put another 45 underneath it that's flat, and then put a little bit of weight, and then this will turn. The needle won't stop it. But these should play. There's really no big scratches on this one. But that's how to get a message to a lot of people. Nowadays they use social media, but back in the day, this, go to your mailbox, get this, throw it on the record player. Next one, if you look up Flexi postcards, you're going to see probably these guys. These were pretty prevalent. This is We Are the Johns, and there's actually, I don't know if you can see it, a little bit on the corner right over here, but there is some varnish on there, and there is a record audible thing, and that's the hole right there in the middle. But that's the Johns, and this is a postcard. It's got the postcard back, place for the address, place for the message, and you would send this, and there's just a bunch of these out there about the Johns. So that's another Flexi postcard. Now, when we're talking music, and I've seen this before, I'm not a big record guy, I'm a big music person. But when you get, let's see if I can find it in here. So when you bought albums, so this is Sean Cassidy, Born Late. This is his thing. There's a record inside there. A lot of them had fan clubs on there, and a lot of people know who he is. Hardy Boys, I think he was in too. Is they would send postcards right here inside the albums, and this one is, if you would like to keep you posted on Sean Cassidy's recording career, please fill out this postcard and mail it back to us. In turn, we'll send you free of charge the latest record news on Sean Cassidy. Be sure to fill in all the spaces and print clearly. Mike Kerr, Warner Club Records. So you're going to find these little record club, fan club postcards, and they go inside these records, and a lot of collectors want the album and they want the postcard. You get more money for it. So you'll see in there, it's not a Flexi postcard, but I thought I would bring it up to say, hey, if you're looking for postcards and it's music related, you might find these album ones. So somebody might have the record, but they don't have the postcard. So guess what you get to do? You get to marry that postcard up with the record, and the guy will pay more, hopefully. I've never sold any of those. I never really looked into it that much, but thought I would throw it out there. Okay, so now what have these things been selling for? I never sold one. I don't have them in my store. So I went out and looked at the sold high, sold low, list high, list low. So here's one that sold for $20 and $29 shipping from the UK. So 50 bucks for this one. And it's just a modern fiction dink gold vinyl plus F postcard. So it's one of the Flexi postcards. And then there's another one here that sold for, looks like they took a best offer and $5 shipping. It's called the Flexi disc, as they put in the title. I think I searched on Flexi. So Rolling Stones single. So for, probably $30 they got for that one. But what about the lows, the lower ones that sold? So here's Sue Thompson, Paper Tiger Rare. It's a Polish one. $6 plus $6 shipping. Frankie Avalon. Must be the same seller with the word rare. $6. Next one, Little Richard. $6. So it looks like the same seller there because it's the same background with the red. But those are all the Polish, the ones that in there. So if you look at Frankie Avalon, there's a picture of a Chinese guy, and it's Frankie Avalon as the audio. So that's what I was saying about the picture. That's how they snuck them into Poland, I believe. And same on the bottom, there's a picture of an arch there, of an entryway, and it's Little Richard. So that's probably another reason how they could slip it into, communist-occupied Poland. What are people listing these things for? And this always catches my eye because what's sold and what's listed, totally different things, and people go crazy. Here's a Billie Eilish one, and then that's a newer, $99 plus $3 shipping. I don't know if that's worth $100. Maybe it's rare. I don't know too much about Billie Eilish. Next one is $69. So there's two of them right there. It's probably the same seller, but one's in they're both buy it now. There's 13 watchers on that second one, so maybe there is something there for Billie Eilish on there. But I'm not a music guy, so I probably won't hunt this down. But you got one for $99 for Billie Eilish, and you got another one for $69, and you got 13 watchers on that one. So is that a trend? That's what you want to look for when you're looking through things. That caught my eye, 13 watchers. So what's so important about that? Can I get some good money for that? Next one is 4 musical postcards from Hungarian folk songs. $49 plus $10 shipping. So 60 bucks for those. It comes from Israel. So there's 4 of them right there. Now people listing these low. Here's one for $7, $4 shipping from France. It's kind of a war thing, it looks like. And then you got another Polish one from, looks like the same seller with the red background, $6 shipping. And then the other one is the same one as before, with the same picture that had Little Richard on it. So maybe they used the wrong picture. But that was the same picture as the other one. So that just goes to show you what's out there. It looks like they do get a little bit more than a regular Chrome card. And if you get ones like Billie Eilish, maybe there's something there. But that's the pricing for the Flexi postcards, the Flexi disc. So if you see them out there, they're probably going to ship first class because they're usually bigger on there. But you might be able to do something with them if you get them for a good price. But I thought I would share what I found about Flexi postcards. Is it one that I'm going to actually look for? If I see them, I might pick them up, but it's a novelty to me. But I don't think only if I see them, I'm not going to actively hunt down Flexi postcards. But if I do see them now, I understand what they are. Flexi postcards. Who knew? Now let me get back to what's sold. Just about done with these. The next one was 4 cards. These cards are all from that private collection that I'm doing the videos for on there. And they're all of the Croton Dam. This one is the Bridge and the Road on there, and all of these sold for $18 total. Now I did underprice the Croton Dam ones because I had so many of them. In a private collection, you're going to get a lot of duplicates and stuff, and that's what happened here. So I priced these at $4.55, $5.55, just to move them because there was a good dozen or so of the Croton Dam. And this is another one, front view of the Croton Dam, white border, unposted. So all 4 of these sold for $18. And then you got the bridge and the spillway of the Croton Dam. There was a ton of these, probably 5 or 6 of these. And then the other one is the view from the lake, Croton Lake, white border cards. These are all the white border cards. So 4 cards to 1 person, $18. Then you sneak in a couple chrome ones here. This is State Prison in Lansing, Kansas. And this one sold, I think, for $4 to $5. Wasn't really, the comps weren't, there was a lot of them out there. So this one didn't price up like some of the older ones of a prison or insane asylum. But that one sold. Alaska. Whenever you see Alaska always sells. Some of them can be pretty good. This is Juneau, Alaska, just an air view. Sold between $4 and $5. Chrome card, unposted. No problem there. I knew that would sell when I put it up. Michigan Silver Lake Sand Dunes. Sand dunes. I sold sand dunes. Chrome card, $4 to $5. A lot of people would have put that in their quarter box. I got $4 to $5 for it. Then we got another one of these photos, these ship photos. They do have a little curl. It's just the way photos are and how they're stored. This is the Newport News, CA whatever, $8.55 is what I got for that. And that'll ship out with a stamp and a label. So it doesn't help me with my top rated seller. Then this is just a bridge. This is another one from, not from this collection, but it's a bridge. Mississippi River Traffic Bridge at Cape Girardeau, Missouri. White border card of a bridge, $4 to $5. And I got about 3 or 4 left, so let's knock those out. Here's a picture of a small submarine. This is the USS Holland. Very small. Look at those guys. I would hate to be in that submarine. But this is another one of those prints, $4 to $5. Here's another chrome card. The Gore Range, Rocky Mountain National Park, Colorado. And this has rounded corners on there. That doesn't really bring the price up if it's rounded corners, but just another term. But that's the Gore Range. And it says Gore Range, 60 miles. Yeah, I want to walk 60 miles to go see the Gore Range. Well, so that sold $4 to $5. Another ship one. This is USS Montana. It's one of those prints on there. And that'll go eBay standard envelope, $4 to $5. And the last card that sold out of the 32, which remember, $170 in postcards, whole bunch of different varieties. I did sell about 7 ships on there, but a lot of them, they're just all over the board. This is a poem, Rocked in the Cradle of the Deep. This wasn't from the Navy ship hall. This is just a regular postcard of a Navy guy laying on the deck, and it's got the Virgin Mary at the top, and it's got a poem. So I'll leave it up here so if you want to pause it and read it. But that's just a vertical card, and this is undivided back card, and it was 1907. So just a poem card, $4 to $5. Nice day. I was very happy with it. They just kept coming in, and I'm sitting there, this is Wednesday. Usually, you know, I'll sell 10, 20 cards, but got up to 32. It's like, okay, you know, hope this continues. But the sales have been very steady lately. A lot of people have been saying it's been down for them, but so far in the postcards, I've been doing well. Every Saturday morning, around 9 a.m., I send out a poll in the community feed on the channel. I'm totally anonymous, don't know who you are if you select it. If you do leave a comment, then I do see the user ID, but anybody that participates, Just click yes, no, or pick a selection and let it roll. So this question that I sent out, how many postcards can you list in 1 hour? I thought after I posted that and it went out, I looked at it again and I said, oh man, I'm going to get some blowback on this one. There's just so many variables. I mean, if you got higher end cards and you got a lot of research to do, you might be able to get 2 cards up an hour. If you got a bunch of cheap Chrome cards that you're just throwing up there for $4 or $5, you might be able to do 50 an hour, 40 an hour, 30, whatever. So there's so many variables on doing that, or how you do them is a little different, you know, on there. So let's just take this as a generic average postcard. What can you do? So that's how I looked at it. And I hope that people that responded kind of thought the same thing. But 30% said they can do 1 to 10. 35% said 11 to 25. 26 to 40 said 22%. And 41 to 50 said 5%. And the other was 8%. And there's some comments under the poll there. I would say the poll came out pretty correct. It was 11 to 25 if you're doing your due diligence and you got a good and you're getting your item specifics on eBay. And let's talk eBay here. It's a little quicker on Etsy because they don't have all of the item specifics. But if you scan the photos and put them in, and they're 11 to 25 is a good number. I'm probably between 26 and 50. It depends. If I'm doing the boats, I know they're all 455. They're all straightforward. The information's on the back. I don't do a lot of research. I'm probably in the 41 to 50. But if I get a bunch of, you know, these types of cards that I want to research a little bit more, that would probably knock my listing time down to 26 to 40. But I try to do this year I'm trying to do an average every day for the year of 50 postcards listed. Now some days I might do 150, spend 3-4 hours listing, and that way if I take a Sunday off, I'm still got the average. Or I might do 10 in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, and 10 at night for 30, and the next day I'll do 70. I just watch my average for the month and try to stay between 40 and 50. And that'll give you a good replacement of what you sold, and you make a gain on your listing going forward. If you only list 10 a day and you're selling 20 a day, your listings are going to keep going down. So you want to have more quantity, more variety up there. But I think this poll came out better than I thought it would. And don't feel bad if you're only listing 1 to 10, because you could be still learning, or you got higher end cards, you want to get every dollar out of it. If you're doing 11.25 and you're part-time or you're full-time, same thing. It's whatever you can do. Don't think you have to have the most cards in the world out there. Don't compare yourself to others. It's the worst thing people do. They do it in the YouTube world, and they do it on eBay. Oh, he's got a lot of listings, or he made this many sales. You don't know everything that's going on. Do not compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to your own goals. Now you want to take a look and see, hey, that guy's selling 100 cards a day. What's he doing differently? Yeah, go look and see what they're doing. Maybe mirror a few things they do. But don't compare yourself, because that guy might have been doing it for 20 years and he's got a good following, or he landed up on some really good cards. You never know what's under the covers, or he's not selling them, you know, on the YouTube channel. So just be careful with that, comparing yourself. It's not a race. It's not a competition. It's just business. But that's the polls. Check them out every Saturday morning. Participate. If you got any questions you want me to put in a poll, send them to me. I have them scheduled out for a couple months now, and I can always sneak one in anytime. They're real easy to do. It takes less than 3 or 4 minutes to put one up if I know what to put up there. So, but they're out there. There's a whole bunch of them, and it helps us gauge on what we're doing. I always like the viewer comments. These comments all came from YouTube, and I got 3 of them here. So the first one is from Maddie Mack. Do you care to read the correspondence on old postcards when you're looking through them? So I replied, I said, no. I just list the cards. I really don't look at the stamp. Sometimes a cancel will catch my eye, but I really don't look at the back of the cards, what they've written and stuff like that. The only time I do is if the handwriting is really cool looking, calligraphy I think they call it, stuff like that might catch my eye, but no, I do not. I think it slows me down, and it's a rabbit hole. I've never had anybody ask me what it says on the back or whatever, but it, could there be something I'm missing? Could be, but that's just one part of it I don't look at. So, but if you do, that's your thing in there. Point it out in the title or description. Hey, John Adams wrote this one or whatever. Next viewer comment is from I'm Colton. I think that's how I say it. Just started selling postcards and sold an old RPPC of a hospital. Keyword. Near me. Sold within 4 hours of posting for $9.95. I was blown away that it went so fast. Yes. Number one thing is RPPC. Number two, hospital. Hospitals always sell. Make sure you get that in the title. And the next one is, why did it sell so fast? I have a video that I put up, and it's postcards sold in 24 hours, how? And I think the title I put on there, what you didn't know about eBay saved searches. So most cards that sell on eBay that fast is you triggered a saved search. Someone's got a saved search that they get an email, and that video walks you through how that works on there. And if you're a seller, you should put those up too. If you got some cards, I have a bunch of saved searches that I get emails all the time, and I've snagged a few good cards that went pretty cheap that I could resell and make a profit on. But saved searches, people in the postcard world have a lot of those. Even in the toy world, if I put up a certain action figure that I know is vintage and hard to find, it gets snatched up pretty quickly. So that's probably one of the reasons it's sold, is the saved searches. So everybody check that video out on there. It's a real short video. I walk you through on my computer how it works, and I think I used the Chicago Buckingham fountain and how people use that. So, but congratulations on your sale, and keep moving. That's what keeps people going. Next one is from Kim, longtime viewer. This was about the video. Oh, this was for the album 1 of the private collection that I'm doing now. My granddaughter helped me pull them out of the albums, I said, so that cost me a box of cupcakes. She helps me with stamping envelopes and stuff. She just likes to come in the office and feel like she's working. She's getting pretty good at it. Now my grandson, 6-year-old, yeah, he'll never stamp another envelope. I had him upside down, sideways. So, you got the girl that's real good, and you got the boy just slapping them on there. Yeah, I fired him. But she said, oh, so sweet your granddaughter helped you. Isn't it always interesting the cards you think are worth more end up not being so? And the ones you don't think are anything much are selling for higher. You may have mentioned it before, but what do you do with the cards that are not politically correct, thus can't be sold on eBay? So the first part of the question, the comment was, yeah, I mean, you could look at a postcard and say, yeah, this is just a chrome card, it's $4 to $5, but then you go out and do a little research. Oh, that's a $15 card. Do I miss some? Probably. You could probably find a gem in my store. I got, between Etsy and eBay, I'm up to like 32,000 cards. There's probably some out there that I'm missing a few dollars on. I'm not the one that worries about missing out, because I buy them for a good price, and I want them to move. So if someone gets a good deal, they'll be back, or they'll buy multiple cards. But yeah, there's cards out there that you would say, that's a bush. There's some tree or something, a desert tree, I forgot what it's called. Every time I put that up, it sells. I mean, in 24 hours, it'll sell. Cactuses and stuff, who would think that? Do I price them up a little bit? No, I just keep selling them. But then some of the Navy cards I have sold a little bit more than I thought, and some that I thought would sell, they don't sell as well. So you just never know unless you do the research. But the politically correct cards, there was a stack of cards from that private collection that I can't list because they got a war symbol on it, or just not politically correct, or one of the 5 that eBay doesn't allow, or Etsy. Those go into the flea market box. I have a gentleman at the flea market. He'll sell them in his booth out there and stuff. That type of stuff, it's history, but I don't sell it. I'm just, either way, I just don't buy it or I don't sell it. So But I just put them into a whole box of them. I have a box down here that I just put all those cards in, damaged cards, and I think he sells them as crafting, and then he'll pull out the other ones and just sell them and stuff like that. Now, if they're really bad, yeah, I don't. Those kind of go away, go into postcard heaven. So I'm not one that's going to get into the political battles of that stuff. But if eBay doesn't allow me to list it, it goes into the box, and he just, I don't make a lot of money on it. He just comes in and picks up the boxes. But also I had some questions about scanners or cameras. What iPhone should I get? What Android phone to take photos of postcards? Or what scanners do you use? I have two scanners now. I have the Fujitsu ScanSnap and I have the Epson 400. One had a better border for anything with a white border around it, and the photos, I wasn't getting a clear thing out of the Fujitsu, and the Epson did allow for a background to show the edges. So I have two scanners, but I get a lot of questions, what's better? But if you look at this video here, I actually timed 10 minutes doing it with a camera and 10 minutes with a scanner. Now I did speed the video up during most of the testing on there. You don't have to sit for 20 minutes and watch me take there, but you'll be surprised. I break down the cost, the quality and stuff, but check this video out on what's the best way to take pictures of postcards for eBay or any online photos. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.